Hey everybody, it's Gamer number 98 here, and welcome to the third extra part of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Now I kinda ended off that last part a bit too quickly. I forgot to show something. Once you complete the Home Rock King puzzle here at Link's Oasis, then it'll just go back to this one. And these will be unlit again. Another thing I want to show is actually kinda funny. If you choose to quit while you're in the middle of doing a puzzle, this will happen. I am sorry to have bothered you with such a trifling thing, most terribly sorry. All of a sudden I have become painfully aware of my existence as a door. Where? I like how it does that little thing. I just want to do this to hear it again. Yay! Now, onward to the actual content of this video. And here we are, just outside the Nintendo Gallery. Like I promised, we're going to show this off. Now, I should probably mention this to avoid confusion. When you complete the Nintendo Gallery, Karlov the Sculptor will disappear. He'll leave one extra figurine and then he'll leave. Right. So yeah, this is a different save file, as you can tell by my rupee count. One where I actually did complete the Nintendo Gallery on the first playthrough. It's possible, and here's the evidence. So here's the Forest Haven room. Here's Maker. He will be in the Forest Haven, or after you clear the Wind Temple, he'll be in the Wind Temple's boss room. What the hell's that word? Frivolous. Yeah, like it's so easy to get the cello and violin mixed up. Here's Fido, who is obtainable by getting a legendary pictograph from Lenzo. Somewhat saucy. Ooh. Long ago, blah blah blah. Here's the Deku Tree. Just take a picture of his face and that should do it. The Deku Tree is both an Earth Spirit and the Guardian of Forest. He has lived for many years, so his wisdom is vast. And here are all the other Koroks. Here's Hollow, who always stays in the Forest Haven. He runs the potion shop. Onyala Manyala Dware! Followed by all the other Koroks who appear on different islands. And then we've got Manny and Karlov. Manny, birthplace Windfall Island, favourite thing, figurines. He used to always sit at home and rarely go outside, but Nintendo Gallery. Okay. Moving on. We're gonna go into the Dragon Roost Island room. You know you're super hardcore when you complete the Nintendo Gallery on the first playthrough and defy all the speculations. And I bumped the mic. Alright, this guy here. This is the guy I mentioned one time. This guy is not around forever. He disappears when you take Medley to the Earth Temple. He can be found listening to her outside when Medley's playing her harp. Most of these characters are found inside the island itself. And there are these guys who are at the flight control platform. And we learn that they are indeed just cosplayers. Willy. Oh dear. Still, that is actually a perfect cosplay of a Rito, because Ritos have their backs bent like that, and yet these humans managed to do it. Now there are two twins, you could say, in Dragon Roost Island. Just take a picture of one of them and you get both of them as one figurine. Here's Medley. She'll be at the Earth Temple boss room. Serious and serene. Blah blah blah. Laruto here. Legendary pictograph required for that. Here's the part-time worker. Here's Skid. Here's Quill. Now if you get a figurine of the Chieftain, you will automatically get Quill as well. Here's Valu, the giant red creature. Just take a picture of his head. That should be enough. You will have to make your way back up and take the best picture you can of his head. And this one I got screwed over for. Just take a picture of Cyclos, but the only problem is it's so glitchy. But if you can get it right, you get a figurine of both of them. Okay, this guy, he likes to fly off every time you talk to him, and he's in an awkward spot. But if you fly over to one of the rock spires, and then zoom all the way in with your picture box on him, that should be enough. Oh, it's the two versions of Kamali. We've got the emo version on the right and the happy-go-lucky one on the left. He's a mama's boy. That's all you need to know about him. Okay, moving on yet again. We're going to go to the monsters room. Pretty self-explanatory, really. It's of the enemies in the game, and some of them are tough to get because they tend to want to go for you. Right, the Floor Master. If you want a Floor Master as a figurine, you have to get a picture of it while it's out of its void thing. It's best that you take their pictures from a distance so that they won't bother you. Imagine doing that with mini blins, that'd be tough. Huh. So there's bokoblins, rats, and this is where we learn something funny. The ones that throw bombs are called bomb chews, but we don't really see them much. We only saw them in one submarine, didn't we? Here are the choo-choos, the mini blins. Octorok. Georg. Oh, getting a Georg is tough because you sometimes have to risk getting hit. No, wait, you will get hit if you want to take a picture of it. The Redead. The Redead's very easy to get a figurine off because, well, you can just take a picture of it while it's not moving. And believe it or not, yes, you get a figurine of a morph. Here are the Armos and Armos Knights. If I remember correctly, if you take a picture of a Beamos, it'll actually become an Armos in the end, which does make sense. For the Poe, I believe you have to take a picture of it while it's visible, when it's vulnerable. And of course it has to be facing you, which is the biggest annoyance of the Nintendo Gallery side quests, is unless it's impossible to have them facing directly at you, then they'll have to be doing that. Here's the bosses and mini bosses room. This has probably got the most time limited characters in it, mainly the bosses. But here are all three types of Dark Nuts. Remember, there's a type of Dark Nut that has a shield, some don't. And here's the Mighty Dark Nut with its cape. Here's a Moblin, Phantom Ganon, the Wizrobe in the Wind Temple. And funny enough, the regular Wizrobes are in this room, out of place. Helmrock King, Mothula, Big Octo, Goma, Kelly Demos. This is where people struggle because it's impossible to have the deluxe picture box when you first fight these two bosses. But remember, they reappear in Ganon's Tower, and even though they're in black and white, they'll still be accepted as long as it's with the deluxe picture box. Mogira here, Puppet Ganon, only his first form, and we can glitch this if we do it right. Basically, if you look up, he might disappear. I like how he's just hanging downward. Jahala, Stalfos, Ganondorf. Base of operations, okay. Possessor of the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf controls many failed beasts. He's useless for Link to try to face him alone. He must look for an ally who can aid him in battle. You can get him from a legendary pictograph, but also by taking a picture of him yourself and then saving and quitting. Yeah. Next up, what do we have? Okay, we have the Outset Island room. Something I did forgot to mention was when you start the second playthrough, all your Nintendo Gallery figures do carry over, which is a good thing. Now this is probably the most unexpected figurine subject, but it's the crabs that you see on some beaches, like the one on Headstone Island and Outset. These creatures are crabs, plain and simple. Now if you get too close to crabs, they will hide in the sand, so you have to take a picture of them while they're visible. This guy with the sickle, you can only take a pictograph of him during the night time because he stays awake during the night and he's in his house. Here's Jaboon. Once again, he's only available via a legendary pictograph. Orca, seagulls. Getting seagulls as a figurine is a pain, but one thing you can do is lure them close with the all-purpose bait, and then take a picture of them. If you take a picture of Link's grandma, you automatically get Errol, his pig. Well, wild pig. Huh. The snot-nosed kid and the rest of his family. Alright, only 2 rooms left. Next up we have the Windfall Island room, and this has the most figurines in it because there's a lot of NPCs on Windfall Island, as you may already know. A lot. Okay, this is the woman I mentioned, who tells you about the sailor who likes... She's just an ordinary elderly woman. Oh, seriously? She's found at one of the Windfall Island docks. Basically, if you go to the right of Zunra's shop, you'll see the dock and she'll be there during the day. Well, she tells you about the skull necklaces, love in person. You can take a picture of any one of these two. Here's Queeb, Anton, Zunra, birthplace, Cold Island, pet phrase. Dear me! Even in the hottest day of summer, Zunra can be found in a shop wearing the beloved hood that his mother made for him. He keeps a great treasure in his safe there. Yeah, typical Eskimo. On a side note, he turns 40 this year and is now recruiting for a wife. Love heart. Lenzo Todd. Alright, the killer bees. With the killer bees, yeah, you can only get a figurine of them if you take a picture of the leader, the guy in the red hat. So let's see. The leader, Ivan, a very talented and reliable leader. Leave all 3 climbing to him. Jin, the fox, Ivan's quick-witted advisor. His wide insults can be hard to take. Jan, the blue hair, uses his innocent looks to avert trouble. He's the killer bee's thug. Yeah. Two deceiving facts. Jan's a tomboy and is a thug. The pig nose, June Roberto. Mr. Roberto. Mrs. Marie, these annoying kids. And of course we got the rich to poor, poor to rich families here. Favorite things, love and romance. Duh! A woman's heart is blue. We also got the sailors back here. Here's Gummy. Take a picture of him from the side because he appears at a funny angle. And here's Linda. Over characters nobody cares about. Look at that. He seems awfully smug when he's tied up. Oh, I love this guy's description. Gossack. Windfall Island, personality, not brave. There isn't much to say about Gossack. Here's Julian, who runs the cafe. It seems she once had a boyfriend, but that info is top secret. It's a fish man. It's the fish man at Rock Spire Isle. Ew! I didn't want to see you. Only one more room. This is a vast ocean room. This basically has the etc. characters. Now there's something I need to make note of. This is the only optional figurine in the entire game. Oh, and here's Manny. He can be seen sometimes in one of the rooms, going over figurines. All I want out of life is just a chance to hang out and gaze at my figurines. They're my figurines! I'm the one who worked to get them. Bull! Bull! And he likes staring at us when we crawl around the room. Crawl around his feet, and what does he do? He turns around on the spot. Now that's not unusual at all. Enough. Anyway, Knuckle here is the only optional figurine you can get. His pedestal is not even here unless you actually get him. Remember, he only appears when you use the Tingle Tuner and complete a little game on Outside Island. Occupation Carver. There's also a there's also a clue to something here. Supposedly, he felt unsatisfied. He loves especially vertically aligned Tingle Tuner. Basically a hint that there's a Tingle tuner shaped like a GBA SP, but we don't see it. We also have all the other Tingle guys here, including the man himself. Favourite thing, fairies, deciphering maps. It's been several years since Tingle first became enchanted with deciphering. Beedle, the guy who runs the boating course. Salvator, the salvage corp. The King of Hyrule, only available through a legendary pictograph. You get Zelda automatically with him. Here's the pirates, just take a picture of Tetra and you get the whole crew. Here's Old Man Ho-Ho, the travelling merchants who are Gorons. The Great Fairy and Queen Fairy, only available through legendary pictographs, why do I get the two mixed up? And here's a regular fairy. First impression, good. Now, when you complete the Nintendo Gallery, Karlov disappears and leaves behind this figurine. Normally, if you take a picture of the King of Red Lions, you won't get anything, but complete the Nintendo Gallery, you get this one last figurine. Link and the King of Red Lions. Favorite hand left. Explains a lot. The Hero of Wind, Link, uses the Wind Waker to control the wind and sail the seas on his mysterious boat, which is actually the King of Hyrule. Surprisingly, he seems to have an unnatural interest in figurines and has at last completed his collection. He is now the master of the Nintendo Gallery. So there you go, people. Evidence that you can complete this side quest on the first playthrough, because, you know, Link's wearing his green tunic and not his pajamas. But if you do, however, miss any figurine subjects, you can of course get another chance on the second playthrough, because you will start with the picture box and all figurines you got so far will carry over to the second playthrough. But that's finally it now. I think I've done enough on this part. So with that, the Wind Waker comes to a complete and utter conclusion. So, I guess now it's time for the LP outro, the proper one, because I'm done, completely done. Wind Waker's finished. Thank you all for enjoying it, and of course thank you for your patience when I sent my Wii over for repairs. This did get delayed because of that, but either way, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, which starts on the 20th of February, so I'll see you then. This is the true legend.